Allie.
Today is Friday, February 21st, 2020.
And In Focus starts right now. Some updates on campus events.
Spin company Peloton has some interesting news for consumer of Free Cycle.
And Maddie Drucker has an inside scoop at senior elimination.
All that and more is coming up on today's show.
Welcome to In Focus. I'm Stella Esimo.
And I'm Bella Koutianis.
There's a lot going on around campus.
Here are some important announcements from today's campus bulletin.
Yearbook costs will increase to $90 starting Saturday, February 29th. Get one now for $75. Students can order one on the Pally Web Store at pallywebstore.myschoolcentral.com or swing by the ASB bookkeeper's office in the Tower building between 9 a.m. and 12:30 p.m. Cash, check, or debit or credit card are acceptable. Students who aren't sure if they ordered a book can contact the ASB bookkeeper, Fatima Giffen, at fgiffen@pausd.org or swing by her office in the Tower building. 2 donation boxes are set up in rooms 218 and 804 to benefit the Pine Ridge Indian Reservation in South Dakota for a student's AAR project. If you have any new or gently used clothing and or school supplies, be sure to drop them off before March 6th.
If you are a winter athlete who is not going to CCS this year, please return your uniforms to the designated locations for your team. ASB is putting on Pally's Got Talent. The event will take place on April 2nd in the PAC. Visit the link on screen to sign up. The Career Month Speaker Series starts next Tuesday with U.S. Army Sergeant Alex Alzamora in the MAC and golf coach Dan Giamatti in the PAC, followed by on Wednesday, Corporate Attorney Claire Lassicar in the MAC and Chief Policy Officer of Booster Fuels Joseph Akupaku in the PAC.
Let's move on now from what's happening around the campus to what happened this day in Black history.
Maddie Drucker is in the studio now with more.
Thanks, Stella and Bella. On this day in 1965, Malcolm X was assassinated in New York's Audubon Ballroom while preparing to address the Organization of Afro-American Unity. Throughout the Civil Rights Movement, Malcolm advocated for the self-defense and liberation of African Americans. After a pilgrimage to Mecca, he started to come around to the practice of nonviolent solutions to equality. In June 1964, he formed the Organization of Afro-American Unity. A week before he was assassinated in 1965, his home was firebombed while he and his family were inside. If there is any specific Black History Month content that you would like to see, please send us an email at bulletin@infocusnews.tv. That's all from me. Back to you.
Thanks for that information, Maddie.
Moving on from the facts of the past, here is what's happening in today's world.
Peloton is giving away free bikes to some Flywheel customers. The 2 exercise bike companies have been at odds over a patent infringement case since 2018. Earlier this month, Flywheel settled the case, admitting it copied Peloton's technology that allowed bikers to race each other online. As part of the settlement, Flywheel will shut down its virtual classes. Peloton says it will allow its competitors' customers to trade in their $1,500 Flywheel bikes for a used Peloton bike. Flywheel studio operations won't be affected by the changes.
An investigation is underway after the bodies of 3 women were found at a home in Hemet, California, Wednesday night. It's unclear how the women died, and authorities have not identified them. No arrests have been made as of Thursday morning.
Although senior elimination is not truly a foreign concept to most, many non-seniors may not know what truly goes on in the game.
Senior Maddie Drucker tells us more on the topic.
Screams filled the hallways last year as seniors chased one another with miniature beach balls in their hands. This is elimination, and ASB is putting on the class-wide event for the class of 2020 this year. Senior Site Council Representative Mahogany Grissom details the 3 reasons why ASB decided to put on the game again.
Senior tradition, we're all very stressed and we need time to relax and bond as a class through a huge game of tag.
There are 330 participants in the senior class who will battle it out starting February 25th. Grissom went over the most basic rules of the game.
So the main goal of the game is to tag your target, and your target doesn't know that you're their target, but you know, so you tag them. As long as their ball isn't on their head. But if it is on their head, then you can't tag them. If you want to come by, grab your ball, you get 1 ball, and if you lose it, it's over.
Many seniors are extremely excited for elimination to begin and have some interesting strategies for how to win.
I'm just going to try to stick it out for as long as I can without getting tagged. I don't know if I'll attack people because that's a little stalkerish, but we'll see what happens.
So I have Blackburn this semester, and his classroom is not a safe zone, so I don't really know what I'm going to do.
Despite a little nervousness, the game is sure to be a great experience for the senior class.
I think it's the biggest bonding event for the entire school for the past 5 years. And I just think that the senior class will, just really mesh together.
For In Focus, I'm Maddie Drucker. Screams.
Thanks for that story, Maddie.
Speaking of games, our Vikings athletes did well last night.
Jason Goldie is in the studio now with the latest in Pally Sports news.
What were some of the key scores, Jason?
Girls varsity soccer beat Santa Clara 3-0. After this win, they appealed to be in CCS and were given the 5th seed in CCS Division 3. Girls JV also beat Santa Clara 3-0, with 2 goals scored in rapid succession late in the second half. Boys varsity soccer tied 0-0, knocking Santa Clara out of first place and preventing Pally from being relegated to a lower division. The boys JV soccer team also played Santa Clara, getting a win 1-0. Congratulations to the girls varsity soccer team, both varsity basketball teams, and both wrestling teams on making it to the postseason competition. Also, congrats to both boys and girls basketball teams as well as girls wrestling for being this year's Scaval champions. Boys wrestling is seated in CCS as follows. Adar Schwartzbach is seated first in the 145-pound weight class. Dara Haydarpour is seated third in the 152-pound weight class. Cade Creighton is seated second in the 160-pound weight class. And Halo Lynch is seated fifth in the 170-pound weight class. For girls, Zoe Wong Van Haren is an alternate for the 116-pound weight class. Ella Jorigi is seated first in the 121-pound weight class. Alexandra Lee is seated sixth in the 131-pound weight class, and Amelia Clough is seated third in the 189-pound weight class. The varsity dance team competes this Saturday at the Festival of Champions, hosted by Cupertino High. Girls varsity soccer competes in the first round of CCS at Hillsdale High starting at 1:30 p.m. tomorrow. On Tuesday, girls varsity basketball plays a to-be-determined opponent at home in the CCS quarterfinals starting at 5:30 p.m. Boys varsity basketball follows the girls at 7 p.m. That's all from me. Back to you.
Well, that does it for today's episode.
Be sure to visit our website to check out old episodes, check the bulletin, or to send us an email.
Until next time, have a great day, Pally.